Everyone, happy weekend. It is the weekend, and I used to reminds me of being a perma bull. I used to be a very silly perma bull back in the early days of 2017 or so. Learned that lesson really, really quick. But I'm a perma pulse chain ecosystem bull, perma hex ecosystem bull. If you know what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll go with that. I think that's healthy. I'm okay with that one. Anyway, by the way, if you haven't seen my Scivive shirt, fresh Scivive shirt, buy your freedom and fun longevity research to make it last, I believe it says. So yes, enjoy that. All my Scivivers out there. But today we have Validator AMA number 20. It's going to be fun. Basically, I just wanted to go over, first I'll say hi to the chat. We'll talk about it. But what's up, UFO to go? Your expertise validated. Appreciate that, man. Robert Online. What's happening, man? Kaisa's here. You here to clip some stuff, learn some stuff? Maybe both. Hex Glenn, what's happening? Hex Glenn, good to meet you in Miami. Appreciate that. Appreciate meeting you and had a good time and all that good stuff. Nice shirt. Appreciate that as well. Yes. We have lots of fun meetups and all kinds of good stuff happening in the local area there. Everyone, I'll just leave on this one for a minute. Holla. And yeah, if you ever come to a local meetup or otherwise, I have plenty of shirts. I've left lots of shirts left over from Miami because I took a bunch there, and I'd say at least half or more were gone. But I brought a lot of them. So I know Hex Glenn and folks got some of them, and yeah, I still have some Scivive shirts. Still have some Hex shirts, PulseChain shirts. I need to design a PulseX shirt. That's one thing I haven't done. I got Richard Hart Maxi shirts. I've got everything else except PulseX and incentive token. Maybe I should make an incentive token shirt. If incentive token breaks $100 this year or this month, maybe I'll make one. Yes, good to meet you too, man. OriginX, welcome. Let me put this on the screen though, and we'll get into it. I'm probably gonna go for about 30 minutes or so. It's Saturday. I'm on island time, and I projected the stream to start around noon. So again, everyone, if I don't have a guest, I'm kind of just, I'm on island time half the time when I'm streaming these days. So plus or minus 15 minutes. Oh, nice. You were on with Steve. Steve is awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, I'm glad he did. Yeah, Steve is awesome. A very valuable hexagon, pulsekin, perhaps. Inkite. I don't know what we're calling him yet, but yeah, man, that'd be awesome. So again, is anyone in the chat have any problems or just can't get their validator running or haven't started yet? Maybe you have questions about it. I can go over because it's pretty, I've updated the wiki recently. I added, some of the mainnet stuff. This used to say V3, I updated that. I kind of, put in some more information here about what to expect, what you can do here with all the stuff. And of course we have the table of contents, goes through everything. Basically you run the script, get your hardware set up, get Linux set up, run the script. And then after you run the script, go to the section that says after running the script. And this will tell you exactly, what you need to do afterwards, 3 or 4 steps here, and you're good to go. About 3 days round trip to set up a validator from my experience. A couple days to get everything synced and ready to go, and then about a day to get activated. So you can expect around 3 days. And I've got hardware stuff here. I'm just going to go through the FAQ. I feel like this is an underrated section, and I kind of just add questions here that don't really fit anywhere else, or I don't want to make a section for, so I just add them here. So I'll go through this for a minute, wait, and see if you guys have any questions, and we'll kind of skip around. But what server specs do you need? This is something we talked about a lot. If you're using AWS M22X large with EC2 instance, or if you're running one at home, 32 gigs RAM, i7, some server-based Xeon, Ryzen otherwise, is pretty much the minimum requirements, at least. And if you're going to run 50 or 100 validators, maybe double them, I guess. I don't think a lot of people have experience running that many validators, nor if they did, would they talk about it. However, yeah, if you sack that much Pulse, you got 32 million times 100, then you probably can afford some quality hardware as well. And then how long does it take to sync? Yeah, I just kind of talked about that. 2 or 3 days. I would say more closer to 3 for most people. If you're really new and you're struggling with command line or otherwise, then it could take a week for you to figure it out. So it does there are some prerequisites for understanding Linux, understanding command line, a little bit of networking stuff, or learning about the cloud if you want to run it that way. And the question I used to get all the time is, can you run more than one validator? Yes, you can. You got to have 32 million pulse per one. And you can run a bunch on the validator. Again, we don't know exactly what the limits are and when you need to start getting more memory and stuff. I think my validator uses, 10, 11, 12 gigs of memory with more than one validator. So that gives you any gauge of what's going on. And then another one is people want to add more validators after they generate their keys. I always send them to this CoinCashew article that talks about it. And I I haven't did this myself. I just put this command line here to give you an idea. I'll just change the chain ID. And then, they kind of explained a little bit about the index. Make sure you get the index correct and the number of validators and stuff, because that can be a little tricky. And then how to see the stats. You can go to Beacon Chain, PulseChain.com/validator/your public key. So if we just go to validator leaderboard, here you can see in the URL above validator and then the public key of just some validator that I clicked on. And let's see if they had a withdrawal lately. Yeah, some of these I don't see them withdrawing automatically. I don't know why. Most of them I see withdrawal automatically. Let me click on another one. Yeah, like right here. Oh, that was just, maybe that's a penalty actually. But one of these, it should add up. Yeah, some of these, let me click on another one. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, like some of them I see withdrawing automatically. I've heard people talk about it not withdrawing automatically too. I don't know. I've seen mine withdraw automatically, so this one's missed a few assignments there. Yeah, like this one. So this number should add up to a bunch of the different epochs that it's participated in. Yeah, exactly. Some of these I see and some of these I don't. Is this just people not setting their withdrawal address? Are those ones I clicked on people didn't set their withdrawal address? It's one thing I could think of, but you should see, most people should see, if you set your withdrawal address, it should be automatically withdrawing. Add all these up beforehand, times it, you get about that number. So, and then what if my validator stops working? If it changed, I got scripts to do that. I got scripts to do just about everything you want to do for your validator. I'll go through that in a second, but if your IP address changes, you need to move it, or it's not static or something, then you can either update the service file yourself or command line if you're using Docker or something. And update, if you have the same fee address, just put that the same and then put your new IP address. More information there. How much does it cost to be a validator? Again, we need more time to get all these concrete numbers, but estimated $1 to $2K. And then on AWS, it could be a few $100s. I don't know exactly yet. I need a few months to kind of get I was doing a lot of testing. I was spinning up different things. So I don't want to say any numbers till I'm confident in them. But so a few hundred is just a guess. And then this is something a lot of people are talking about, effectiveness at 100%. Why do I see negative amounts of penalties? And this is something that's pretty cool. I looked it up. Crypto Vince and I were talking about it. You could be getting wrong votes from time to time, which is just part of the system, or the withdrawal rewards are doing in batches, like I showed you, automatically to your withdrawal address. And then maintenance. A lot of people ask about maintenance as well. Is there any maintenance involved to keep it running smoothly? The only two things I know of are, so we're using Geth and Lighthouse for my scripts. So Aragon automatically does pruning, but Geth does not. So quarterly, bi-yearly, you can set it to be automatic with cron jobs and stuff too. And I have a script does the pruning as well. So prune Geth every quarter or 6 months or something, unless you have a huge disk space. And if you got 100 terabytes, it's different than 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes. So maybe you don't have to do it as often if you don't care about the disk space being filled up with blockchain data. Otherwise, you don't want to run out of disk space. You run out of disk space, your validator's not going to be working. It's going to be struggling to work. And then keep the clients up to date. Again, if RH announces, oh, there's some new parameter we want to change, just like the parameter change from V3 to V4 for the APY for the validators, then you're going to want to target the current consensus. Yeah, unless you don't want to participate in the network anymore, you want to fork your own and do your own stuff. It'd be fun to see PulseChain forks. I'm sure there will be something like that in the future. It's inevitable once it gets popular enough, right? And then if you really, just want to ask questions or need help and stuff, there's PulseDev and there's Gamma DevOps chat, which have a lot of validator conversations going on down. So check that. And I got a ton of resources that have helped me start understanding this stuff as well. Peruse them at your will. So that's the FAQ. And again, here's all the scripts. You guys are, don't know what any of these are, want me to go into it, I can explain in detail every single one because I wrote them. So I know how they work. And yeah, this is give you an idea of what's in the repo as well. So I put it right here. Yeah, you can see like 11.5 gigs out of 32 gigs memory in my system. I'm not using the swamp at all. Some people talked about this. They're using a lot of swap, which is basically disk as memory. It's kind of a backup. But I haven't noticed that. But I haven't changed my cache settings either. Maybe that's something to do with it. Some people are changing their cache settings to be more efficient or optimized, which is interesting. Does that help you test better? Maybe, I don't know. Brandon B, what if my validator becomes a radical feminist and tries to cancel me on Twitter? Well, sir, there is a cord on your validator, and you can take a pair of scissors and snap it or cut it, whichever word you prefer, in half. And then also unplug your battery back if that happens, just to make sure there's no excess energy usage that it's going to be able to survive. Or just get used to it and convert yourself. You could do that. It is very concerning. That's true. If your validator starts doing anything you don't want it to do, you can always unplug it or hit the stop instance button in the cloud. Oh, Brandon, some funny stuff. I get so many questions about the flag. I don't just in the clips and there, just a lot of questions. People confused. I guess they didn't watch the beginning or have watched any other content, but no, it's you're a funny guy and we like to joke around. Bearded saying, what's happened? All right, I'm gonna talk to the chat for a minute. Now that you just heard me talk about some stuff. Robert says, Launchpad was showing me several deposits with status transaction failed, but working on mistakenly ended up with duplicate deposit. Ooh. Well, yeah, man. I don't know. So I've never made a duplicate deposit, but I believe you still, when you withdraw, it should still give you back what you put in. Because it says if there's no benefit in putting more than 32 million Pulse or 32 ETH. I hope you're able to get that back. I would think so. If you made 2 deposits for the same public key. Interesting. I think it'll just be locked up for a while unless you exit that validator and start over. So it's up to you, I guess. Some people use validators. I mean, to me, it's kind of another way of holding, right? It's you're locking something up to get yield. You're also running hardware as part of that too. But I don't think it's lost. I hope not. I've never heard of anyone doing that. But yeah, if you want to exit, I hope it's not lost. So it'll be interesting. Let me know how it goes if you go through the process. So like I could, if other people have that issue or go through that, we'll be able to know how to advise them as well. Or talk about things other people did. No advice of any sort on this channel, just to be clear. Kirby says, Richard made it clear by removing eHex Farms, he only supports PX. Is that what you interpret it as? I think that's It's definitely one way to interpret it. There still is pools. So just to be clear, he removed the incentive farming for the pools. So there's still pools. Let me show you all. There's still pools. So if you go to app.pulsex /info/pools, yeah, info/pools, there is still, shout out to Derek's Coast for talking about this recently too. There is, well, there was, let's see. Let's do liquidity. Yeah, there's EHEXPX right here. So there's still a EHEXPX pool. That's what that appears to be. But it's just not incentivized. So basically Richard was, for whatever reason, he, people speculate, people emergency in staking. That wasn't the intended use case. So that was getting people that. So you can still make pools of whatever you want, and people have. So you're just not going to get incentive token for doing it. So I think that was, my interpretation was that was just a fix to not hurt EHEX, because who knew that would happen anyways? Like, you kind of got to test these things first to see. And yeah, I've seen, I'm kind of tired of seeing these clips. I've seen clips of like him saying one thing, him saying the other thing, and each being interpreted for whoever wants to believe one way or another. I just don't think it matters that much either. I said before on yesterday's stream with Coast and Walrus that I've never imagined a future without EHEX. I'm not saying there couldn't be one, but I've never imagined it. And I've never took it as, I've watched hundreds of hours of Richard's content. I've clipped 200 plus videos. I've never thought, is EHEX going away? I think at the Hex conference last year, I think I even asked him, I got to pull that clip up sometime. I think I even asked him, should we think of this as a migration? And I'm pretty sure his answer was no. I'm pretty sure. I didn't say it specifically about Hex, I don't think. Maybe I did, but I clipped that and I put it on my channel. I just haven't looked it up. But I was thinking, I don't really want to participate in this debate very much anyways, because I think it's like nobody knows. It's pure speculation until Richard says one way or another. We don't know. But I'm pretty sure, funny enough, I think I asked him this question at the conference last year, and he had his like first instinct was like, no, it's not a migration. But that was last year. Could have changed his mind. Who knows? Whatever. But yeah, there you go. I haven't talked about that before. I just remembered it yesterday or today. So pretty cool. Dave Feeder says, NAC sales can run 1,000 validators just fine because you have a baseline number of that. Yeah, that's, well, maybe Feeder's done his research on that. I don't know. So his is already set up pretty well. So validatorstore.com. So his are way above the minimum, in my opinion. So I could believe you could run 100 or more validators with his. 1,000, I don't know. I don't know anyone who's tested 1,000. So, it's hard for me to say that, but if he said it, he's probably pretty confident in it. So sounds fine to me. Maybe he tested 1,000. Who knows? But to me, this is like, okay, the minimum 32 gigs, yeah, it's got an i7. It's a pretty good processor. The memory is, I think, the biggest thing that kind of scales here. Of course, you want to have a nice processor of some sort, quad core or virtual CPUs if you're using the cloud. But to me, this screams like, yeah, I would try running 100 validators with this. More than that, I don't know, but I would say I've been telling people basically double the minimum specs if you want to be confident that you can run that many validators with it. But again, it's hard to say because show me the 100 millionaire who's running 1,000 validators. I guess with TPLS you could run it. You could run on testnet and see, but it's just hard to get a lot of this information. But if David said it, and he's the guy making the boxes, maybe he probably knows more than me about the hardware side of it. All right. I wonder how much bandwidth 1,000 validators need. Yeah. better have some good pipes too. Yeah, I'm not sure the bandwidth matters as much as they both are. I would love to see a chart of scaling validators, number of validators for the hardware specs. That'd be a cool chart. I would like to see that. Hopefully I have it one day. I don't know how you keep the momentum going. Not much. I know, right? It's almost as if I naturally am excited about the product and want to talk about it. Will it be that way forever? I don't know, but it is right now. So I'm taking advantage of it. So I don't need, money is not a motivator, or I say this, money from you. Yeah, money from the community is not a motivator for me. Money from my investments and getting rewarded for, good judgment and helping further ideals and causes that I believe in. That's a motivator. But money to get on YouTube, definitely not a motivator because I ain't making it. Good point, man. Good point. How much can you make as a validator? Great question. Depends on the PLS price, depends on how many validators you run, and how much volume we have on the network. Those are the three biggest factors. Short answer is nobody knows. However, if you believe in the product, PLS price go up. And if you believe there'll be plenty of volume go up. And you can run, 1, 5, 10, 100 validators. You got to factor all those in. But to me, before they changed the APY to be dramatically more, 1000x or something, I didn't think it'd be that profitable. And I was still doing it. I was still making scripts. I was still running it, all that stuff. But then we did the 1000x APY. I'm like, I think maybe I'll make some money doing it. Maybe. But I was never in it to make money in the first place. It was just like a community service type of thing and intellectual learning for me because I want to learn more about blockchains and help the community, of course. Let's see. Didn't EX in-stake debacle? Didn't EX in-stake debacle the benefit of all stakers bonus hex exchange? Yeah, the mercy. Yeah, funny enough, man. There's so much going on with that. But yeah, in-stake does benefit stakers, and boy, it's good to be a staker when these major things in the community happen. And again, in 5 or 6 days, are we going to be talking about this? It happens all the time. There's all these little controversy, little drama that happens on Twitter, and then it goes away after a few days. It's like I don't even acknowledge it half the time. I think there's interesting questions. That's why I like to have the discussion because I like to look at both sides. I like to understand the perspectives of people who believe one versus another, and then present that, and then you decide which one's true for you. I think that's useful, but like the drama part and the all that stuff, I avoid that. I like to cultivate peace in my life, not get rid of it. And drama tends to not be good for peace. I like peace. Peace is good. So I could run 3 validators from that, no problem. From I don't know which one you were mentioning, but from for validator store, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the minimum specs you could run, I would say 10, 20, 50 with the minimum specs. So like half these specs pretty much. So yeah, you could definitely run. Yeah, wouldn't see any problem running 3 with that or much lower specs. If feeder validators you mentioned, right? PulseChain went live for references. Mentioned validators. Like, yeah, I mean, I've heard Gamma talk about running 100 validators and stuff before too, but I try not to, unless I did it myself or I've known someone to actually do it themselves. I try to, I try to avoid telling you anything I can't back up myself. So maybe David did it, or maybe he's just like he's ran the numbers and said that works. I don't know. If I was running 1,000 validators, I think I'd probably upgrade. I mean, his hardware is awesome, but I think if you have that much money, if I had that much money, I would spend more than 2K on a validator just because I want the thing to work. If you're going to run that many on one server, you should probably split it up anyways. Like I thought about this too. If I'm going to run 500 validators, I'll probably have like 5 different servers, or at least 2 different servers in case one somehow goes down. I have downtime. I'm still, the other one is, all my validators don't go down. If you're running that big percentage of the network, it's probably good to split it over multiple ones. Yeah, I don't have any experience doing that, but if I'm architecting this, thinking out, I would probably run more than one server. So you could, if I had 1,000 on his hardware, I'd probably get like, at least like four of those and run 1,000, for example. Just off the top of my head, that's how I would think about it. So in order to exit a node, you must be synced, have all your batteries active. Good question. Yes, I think you do need to sync. I'm not 100% sure. I think you do need to be synced to exit, I believe. I've exited on testnet before, if I remember, but I was synced. So I've never tried it without being synced, but I think, or have all your, I don't know about all your validators, just the one that you're trying to exit needs to be got his stuff in a row, I believe. How do you know when your node is fully synced and ready to go? Great question. I have a link for you, sir. They don't make this stuff easy. However, if you know how to use command line, you can use this command. This is for checking geth. And this is your current block is where you are. Your highest block is where you want to go to complete your blockchain sync. So you can see the delta is how far you are away. And these numbers can change throughout the process. So Lighthouse is pretty quick from my testing. It's like maybe just a few hours or so or less. And then geth is the one that takes a while. Geth takes like a day or two. So that's for geth, and you can check the status and more stuff here. And the Lighthouse, you can tell this too. So just check out the wiki. And then if you're looking at errors and stuff, you can look at, trying to like debug some of the use journal control to do this. And you can look at HTOP. That's what this is. Looking at HTOP to look at your stats and see the different process running and stuff. PLS in top 100 at 29 coin paprika. Cool. Elizabeth circulating supply, including total interesting data. Yeah, I mean, kind of gotta do 1/10 of that, right? Whatever the market cap is. People are talking about, the market cap's too high, nobody's going to buy this. PulseChain market cap's 40 billion. Well, we know where the 90% is. So is that more like 4 billion? Isn't it much smaller? Or not. Maybe that's not even the most accurate or way of looking at it, but it's, yeah, I don't think that's why market cap is. How many other coins are like that? How many other coins have like all these crazy valuations, but when you dig into it, they're much smaller or much bigger? What are the validators making on that? Making on 1,000 validators? I'm not sure. Please give me a reference on your question. What are the validators making on that? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Wrecking, but let me know and I can answer it. Where can we buy it in Mexico? Are you talking about like PulseChain, the coins, or are you talking about validators? Because it's just, you can just commodity hardware. You can make your own validator or sign up for a cloud service. I have info on that if you're interested in cloud. I literally have a whole guide here. How to run a cloud server on AWS. It tells you how to sign up, how to create the account, how to create the server, all that stuff. So you can check that out if you're interested. I like the video sales, Alex Santos. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate those flames, that arm, and that frog. Looking good. That's a great question, UFO. Let's check it out. We're going to go to Launchpad. Launchpad.pulsechain.com. Get your questions in because we'll be wrapping up pretty soon. Coming up on the top of the hour for me. 18K. Love it. Love it. Still 24%. Wow. I made this title yesterday at 24% when it was like 24.8 or something. And I was like, I wonder if it's going to be below that. Hopefully I don't have to update the title or be inaccurate. But it held. Nice. So 4,096 are the Genesis validators. I mean, we have 14,000 community validators. That doesn't mean 14,000 servers because, more than one validator could be on a server. But if you even, that's probably, if I were to guess, we probably have Think we have 1,000. What do you guys think? Think we have 1,000 servers out there running? I guess we'd have to take the average number of validators per server and come up with an estimate, or just, I know there's a heat map, but I believe that was for testnet, or just look at the IP addresses of people participating in the network. I could probably pull that data actually using a script or something too, if a website didn't have it, because it should be all public information. You should be able to query the validators for a network somewhere. I just never did that, but that's got to be public. Anyways, 14K, I'm going to say at least 1,000 servers out there, 1,000 to 3,000 servers, my guess. You're very welcome, Jack GG. Yep, I know we got a long way to go before we hit that 4%. Not saying it's linear, but or going to be the same as Ethereum, but I think there'll be sweet APY for a while. How to buy all equipment to be a validator in Mexico? Well, you just go to a computer store and build it, or I don't know, does David ship to Mexico? I don't know. Reach out to David Feeder if you're, or however you order it here. Zelle payments are accepted. 3 weeks for delivery. Crypto is accepted. Yeah, I don't know if he ships internationally. Reach out to him there if you like and ask him. So you can check that out. And then I think 20K next week. I hope so. It's going to start scaling off a little bit, but it hasn't slowed down too much, funny enough. So that's cool. You know, I think the number keeps going up too. Like it motivates me to do these AMAs because I know there's still people out there. The community is growing. The PulseChain Validator community is growing. And, you know, they're using my script. They're using David's script guidance. They're using DipSlayer. We did a full demo the other day using his scripts. Fantastic. So yes, I think I answered that one. And Robert says, I look up address in which is short by like 5 validators. Interesting. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, try not to duplicate transactions. Try to make sure they go through before you do that. Where a server, I can cross-check the full list. The full list of deposits, or because you can, in your deposit file, that's where all your public keys are. USA only. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that UFO to go. Thank you for your support. Impressive script made some of them from DipSlayer. I don't think DipCatcher made one. He's too busy making amazing Maximus stuff. But yeah, DipSlayer is pretty awesome. Pretty cool. I like mine, and I got a lot of scripts to do stuff. But yeah, his is pretty cool too. Fullest validators address. What I'm missing. It go by public keys, so there. I mean, you can go to. Where am I? Go to Launchpad. Yeah, I don't know if there's a. I don't know if there. Yeah, just check out Launchpad. Because I'm about the. Oh, I'm at Launchpad. Why am I not thinking of that? Oh, the Beacon Explorer. That's what I was trying to go. Beacon.pulsechain.com. So here you can check the leaderboard. You can search for your own, but getting a list of all the ones you made deposits for, I don't know if there's a tab for that. So yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, guys, that's all for me. I'm going to call it a weekend. May or may not stream tomorrow. We'll see. If not, I got a banger week coming up. I got Monday open mic. Should be awesome. Dixon Piper will be on. Should be great. And then Tuesday, I have Access Live. Access Live will be here, going through some TA stuff, awesome stuff. And then Crypto Coffee will be on Wednesday. So great list of shows coming up. Should be great. So have a good weekend, everyone. Get your validators going, Burr. Hopefully you get it set up this weekend if that's your goal, and enjoy that sweet API as you can. Scivive and 5555. We're out.